Today's all about restoration, regeneration, and coming in. It's more slow, it's more gentle. We focus more on the breath. So throughout this class, let's breathe slow, in and out of the nose, throughout each posture, and be as mindful as we can be. Let's do this. Let's take this hour. Let's make it a special time. Let's make it a time worth having. Significant time to recharge and to come in. So let's close our eyes gently. Sitting nice and tall. We can always prop ourselves up with a cushion to take the hips higher if this is more comfortable. And just place the hands comfortably in front. Relaxed. Start to become aware of your own breath. Become aware of your breathing right now. Good, so let's slow the breath down and start to breathe in and out of the nose if that feels okay. If it doesn't feel okay, breathe however feels comfortable. Slow down the breath. Breathe. Allow the belly to expand on the inhale. And allow the belly to contract on the exhale. Next breath, we go deeper, come into the belly. And now breathe into the chest. Take that breath high and exhale. Breathe fully. Fill the belly and the chest. And a long exhale. One more breath. Breathe in fully into the belly and the chest. And slowly exhale. As you feel into the body, relax any areas where tension is being held unnecessarily. The shoulders. Removing unnecessary tension before we begin movement. The eyebrows and the forehead, for me especially, tight. Take a nice deep breath. Good. When you're ready, open the eyes. Let's make our way onto the hands, the knees and the toes. Today is all about chilling out, guys. This is a tranquil practice. Take your t-shirt off if you're hot. Let's inhale, bring the chest through, tailbone high. Gently gripping the ground with the fingers. Exhale, round the tailbone underneath. Separate the shoulder blades. Inhale, come through. And exhale. round the upper back, press through the ground. Just flow with your own breath. Flow with your own movement, back and forth. At whatever rhythm feels natural. And when you want to, start to make some nice big circles over the wrists. And at the same time, undulating the spine, making radial movements just to hit the spine from all kinds of different angles. Make sure to go in both directions, big circles over the wrists, undulation in the spine, the shoulders, the hips. Breathe consistently throughout this practice. Take your time. Good. Let's come back onto our toes in a kneeling pose. If this isn't possible right now, that's okay. Take your hands to the ground to give yourself the support and gauge what feels good. Whenever we stretch, whenever we enter any posture, we don't want to go to the red zone. We always want to be somewhere green, yellow. The red zone is not visited so regularly. So we want discomfort, not pain. Remain aware with the breath. Let's take the hands behind the body, clasp the fingers together. Inhale, open through the chest. Exhale, pull the arms down towards the ground. Don't strain too hard, but breathe deeply. And pull on the exhale. And release. Untuck the toes. Bring the knees nice and wide and sit back into child's pose. Using this as a mindful moment to feel the ground against your forehead or your arms. Really tune into that feeling of contact. Okay, let's gently come out. We're leaning forwards. We're going to come into a frog pose, if that's what you want to call it. We're just turning the feet and the toes pointing outwards. Open the knees nice and wide. You might want to reposition yourself on the mat so you don't destroy your knees. And we sit back and start to open up the hips. And if you feel comfortable too, we can come onto the forearms and just lean back into this hip opener. Toes pointing outwards. Heels pressed into the ground. And the breath is consistent. Okay, let's come back into the middle of the mat. Round ourselves into a ball. Fully collapse in. Take the head in the hands. And just allow that tension to be released from the neck. Relax the neck and shoulders. Focus on your breath. Good. And on the next inhale, let's raise through the arms. Take the palms facing forwards, exhale, pull the elbows down towards the hips, squeeze the back muscles. Inhale, reach forwards, round through the spine, open, squeeze the elbows and the muscles around the spine. Inhale, forwards, leaning back, raising through the arms. Final time, squeeze all of the back muscles. And release. Just release any tension if there's anything there. Let's go into some neck stretches. So find yourself in a seat, whatever's comfortable for you. If it's sitting down, kneeling down, whatever's comfortable. Let's bring the head gently over towards the left shoulder. And pulling down with our awareness the right shoulder towards the ground. Stay long in the spine and just notice how much tension is stored in the neck. When you're ready, swap sides. Making sure to pull the shoulders down towards the ground. Good, let's get the back of the neck. We just take the hands behind the head, we keep the spine nice and long, and then we gently pull the head down. And also turn side to side. Okay, release. How are we feeling? Good. Let's stay on the ground. Let's take our left leg out. We'll bring our right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Let's take a nice long inhale, lengthen through the spine. Reach the tailbone towards the ground and exhale. Leaning forwards. Bringing the head towards the toes. Keep the shoulders pulled back in this pose. Let's see what that feels like. Just pull back the shoulders. And then relax. Melting into the posture. Inhale, lengthen the spine, chest forwards. And melt once again. Taking hold of the heel, the shin, the ankle, anywhere that feels okay. Just push the tailbone back. I want us to try and focus on keeping the shoulders pulled back initially. Raise the arms. This might feel a bit intense. Push the tailbone back. Big inhale and exhale. Keep the arms in the same position that they're in relative to the shoulders. And hinge only from the hips, at least to your best attempt. Pull back through the tailbone, that's the key, and keep the shoulders locked back. And then we soften, fully relaxing, allowing the spine to bend. Relaxing the back of the neck. Let's gently come out. We're doing a nice harmony here between a little bit of strengthening in a subtle way and fully relaxing and recharging our bodies. See if you can feel that. See if you feel that. Let's bring the left foot to the inside of the right leg. Take the tailbone back. Inhale, raise through the arms. And exhale, leaning forwards, keeping the arms where they are relative to the shoulders. Pushing back through the tailbone. Pressing through the heel. This is all about pushing back through the tailbone, keeping those shoulders pulled into the sockets and the arms up high, and then we relax. Fully softening over the right leg. Breathe. And close your eyes if that feels good. This is where I like to close mine. Let's go one more time. Inhale, raise through the arms. Tailbone pushes back. Spine nice and long. Exhale, reach forwards. Forwards. Forwards, pushing back through the tailbone. Keeping the spine long. Hold at the point just before your spine starts to curve for 3, 2, 1, and then fully relax over the right leg, just comfortably allowing everything to soften, the spine and the neck especially. Good, let's gently come out. We're just going to undo any tension that was created in the spine. Then when we do these yoga routines, just for your own personal practice at home, remember, any tension that we create doing moves like headstands, etc., we have to undo it. Otherwise, we end up getting injured. So let's take the hands behind the back. It's my favourite one to remove tension from the spine, upper spine especially. Clasp the hands together and pull down to the ground. Open through the chest. Take a back bend. Raising the ribs. Good. And now it's time, let's bring our hands in front, lean back, and let's push back into downward facing dog. So, let's just start to bicycle the heels one at a time. And just feel into each movement. Don't let it get robotic. Okay, feel into every movement. Each one should be a remedy And it's up to you to make it a remedy by feeling it and taking it towards a place that feels good. Good. Let's take a short rest. Bring the knees to the ground. Inhale, swoop through. And take the elbows underneath the shoulders and the hands in front of the mat into Sphinx pose. Relax the glutes. If you feel any kind of pull on the nerves, relax the glutes. Inhale, let's bring the chest up and push back through the elbows against the ground. This brings the chest through. And exhale, take it deeper into the spine. Inhale, chest through, pushing back through the elbows. And exhale, release. Let's frame the chest with the hands. Inhale, press up into cobra, pull the shoulders back, press through the ground, bringing the chest through, gaze towards the sky, shoulders away from the ears, and push back to downward facing dog once again. So let's push our heels down towards the ground, bringing our head through the arms, fingers spread wide, and the hips taken nice and high. And let's turn the toes to the right side of the mat. So the left leg is bent, the right leg is straight. Pressing through the left arm, reaching through the right arm. Feel that release in the side of the right body, the right side of the body. Back to downward facing dog. Simply take the hips to the right, toes turn to the left, and then just make that stretch happen on the left side body. You know how to intensify or how to lower the intensity. You know how to do it. Back to downward facing dog. Pull the head through. Really opening through the shoulders. Let's take the elbows towards the ground. And I don't mean through a movement, I mean through a rotation of the shoulders. Rotate the elbows towards the ground, pull the head through. This is where we really start to get into the shoulders. Let's bring the knees to the ground. Swoop through gently. And back into Sphinx pose. Elbows underneath the shoulders, relax the glutes. Inhale, really know what it means to push back against your mat with the elbows. We're pushing the elbows back, this brings the chest through. Exhale, take the release lower into the spine. Inhale, chest through. Really maximize the posture. And then let's take a rest. Let's bring any cheek to the ground, just rest. Let's come back. We'll take the hands slightly closer to the body this time. Pressing up into cobra. Taking the chin to the sky. Shoulders down to the ground. And rest on the opposite cheek. Always got to balance it out even with rest. Okay, let's tuck the toes. Let's gaze forwards. With or without the knees, let's just get a little bit strong for a moment. We're going to take the knees away from the ground. Or if you need the knees, you can use them. We're going to press up. So take the body away from the ground and push. Separate the shoulder blades at the top of the push-up. And with or without the knees, once again, slowly down to the ground. Hold and push. Separate the shoulder blades. Just a little bit of activity is good for recovery. Slowly descend and push. Really squeeze those shoulder blades apart. When we're doing these push-ups, just as a note, if you don't have the strength to do a full push-up yet, come down in the negative part of the rep very slowly without the knees. Squeeze those elbows in, and then just make your way back up. And then you push the knees away from the ground again, and we slowly descend. These are called negative reps. And then we find our way back up. Let's do one more negative, why not? Slowly descend, elbows in. And that deserves a little child's pose. Open up the knees, sit back into the hips. Rest. Okay, let's gently come out of child's pose. Let's bring the top of our hands to the ground. Now this might feel uncomfortable. We use the hand in front, the left hand in front, to give us that support. The right arm is fully straight. And then we just lean our weight back, feeling that release. And the top of the forearm and the wrist. Press the top of the palm into the ground to a point that feels okay, and lean back. Good, gently release, making a fist with that right hand, just pressing that fist into the ground, releasing the fingers. Let's take the opposite hand. Top of the hand comes on the ground. Left arm nice and straight. Stay level to the ground with your torso. Make sure you're not coming off to the side too much. Press the top of the hand through the ground and then lean back. Take your time. Breathe. Making sure that the wrist stays pressed into the ground and doesn't come away as we lean back. And gently release into a fist, pressing the fist into the ground, releasing the fingers. Just these little things are so medicinal for the body, typing, writing all day long. Okay, let's start to get into the lower body a bit more. And let's push back into downward facing dog. Again, Let's rotate through the shoulders, bringing the elbows towards the ground. Press the head through. Let's take the right leg up towards the sky. Left heel pulls down. And then we step the right foot in between the hands. And enjoy a nice lunge. Bring the left knee to the ground. Raise through the arms. Breathe. Press the feet and the toes into the mat. This is the key to keep your balance. Breathe. Good. Now let's just pull back so that we're in a 90-degree lunge. Should be more like a box. We'll take the left knee away from the ground, pressing through the toes. Notice the difference in this feel with the different lunge. Let's take the left elbow and bring that elbow around the right thigh. Press the palms together, squeeze, release tension in the spine, breathe. Lean in deeper into the lunge. Pressing through the foot, especially the front. And then let's slowly bring our hands to the ground. Well done, that was beautiful. Let's take a nice little pyramid pose variation. The pelvis is turned forwards, but the legs are nice and straight. The left heel pulls down. The right toes now come up. Gaze forwards, lengthen the spine, and then forward fold. At the same time, bending through the right leg, coming deeper into the lunge. Pushing back into downward facing dog. Again, rotate through the shoulders, elbows come towards the ground, push the head through. Big breath in, raise through the left leg, right heel pulls down. Pull the head through. And let's step the left foot in between the hands. Staying grounded with the right knee in contact with the mat. Raise through the arms. Lengthen on the inhale. Deepen on the exhale. Good. Let's come to our 90-degree lunge. Keep the arms raised. Press through the right toes. Taking the right heel back, sinking deeper into the lunge. Let's bring our right elbow around the left leg. You can use your other hand for support. Palms together at the level of the heart. Squeeze and twist. Breathe. Lean deeper into the lunge as you twist. But stay consistent in the breath. Pressing back through the right heel. Relax the shoulders. Unravel. Beautiful. Let's take the pyramid pose. Straight legs, chest comes up, nice long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Bringing the right heel towards the ground. With the option of taking the toes to the sky. Always trying to keep those shoulders pulled back away from the neck so we're not shrugging. This is a habit that we really have to break, is the shrug. I have to break it too. Let's come back. Deep into the lunge. Press back. into downward facing dog again. Rotate through the shoulders. Heels to the ground, head pulled through. And let's go for the favourite pigeon pose. Right leg comes up. We'll take the right knee behind the right wrist. The right foot comes as close as feels comfortable towards the left wrist. Always prioritize this first stage of posture. Lengthen through the spine, make sure the hip position is open. Breathe nice and slow, gently close the eyes if that feels good. And then come deeper onto the forearms, making the absolute most of this posture. Pull back through the left hip. And just follow your own guidance as you breathe and make slight adjustments to the posture to make it work for you. Maybe you need to open more and go deeper. Maybe you need to lower the intensity. Whilst we're in pigeon pose, it's really important to try and bring the belly button towards the ground. This makes all the difference as opposed to a hunched upper back. Try and bring that belly button towards the ground. Soften at the shoulders. And really allow the breath to guide the depth. Breathe long. It can actually be quite expected that emotion arises when releasing tension in the hips, frustration, agitation. That's okay, just breathe deeply. This is a healing yoga session. Okay. Gently start to come out of the posture. Take your time. In all honesty, that felt a little bit emotional for me. So that's why I'm saying, let's walk in just a little bit closer, release the right leg as we take it back. Let's push back into three-legged dog. And let's shake off that right leg that we've just released so much. Shake it off. Now let's take the left leg up nice and high, pull the head through. Big breath, and on the exhale, let's take the left knee behind the left wrist and the right foot, or the left foot, as close as you can to the right wrist. Walk back with the right toes. Always remember that you can deepen before we begin by walking the toes back. Keep the pelvis level to the ground so we're not kneeling or leaning off to any side. Adjust the intensity with this leg. More right angle being more intense, more acute being less intense. Find your comfortable position, nice and high on the fingertips. Open through the hips, start to allow things to move. Deepen the breath. Lower into the posture, onto the forearms. If that's available for you. If not, stay up high on the fingertips and just enjoy. So this is all about breath. Consistent long breath in and out of the nose. This is called Ujjayi breathing. If you need to take things a little bit deeper, take things a little bit deeper. Reset the left leg. And take that intensity up or down according to your experience. Inhale, raise through that chest, bring the upper body over, push back through the tailbone. Exhale, bring the belly button towards the ground. You might notice a significant difference in the sides. If that's okay, just relax and breathe deep. Bring the belly button towards the ground. Breathe. And observe the expansion and contraction of the body with the breath. Okay, and when you're ready, let's slowly start to come out. Walking the right knee and toes forwards, creating a safe exit. Press back into downward dog, raise through the left leg, shake it off. Good. Push back to downward facing dog. Bring the knees to the ground. Inhale, swoop through. And press up into cobra. Good. Let's come onto our knees and bring the knees into the center of the mat. We'll take camel pose. So first of all, if you take your hands to the lower back or the top of the glutes, just for that support. Inhale, open through the chest, lean back, find a hand position that works for you. Breathe and open into the chest, and then release. We'll try and go deeper into the camel just so that we get that spine flexibility. This is going to really help with wheel pose. We'll get there. Let's come up onto our toes and knees once again. Right hand comes to the right heel. Inhale, reach the left arm back, open through the chest and shoulders, and gaze towards the left hand as it reaches towards the back of the room or the back of the mat. Breathe as you open, bring the chest through. Gaze towards the left hand. And then make the same semicircle movement back to hands and knees. Let's take the left hand to the left heel. Big arc with the right arm. Reach the right arm behind, open through the chest, look behind. Stay grounded through the toes, straight in the arms. And look back fully towards the left or the right hand. And reverse the arc motion. Let's come to a seat. Good, let's pull our knees nice and close on the outer edges of the mat. We'll inhale, push the hips up towards the sky, press through the heels. Breathe, bringing the chin to the chest. And slowly release. This practice is all about being mindful with our movements. So notice if your mind is in tomorrow or next week or on Tom and Jerry, and come back to the movement, back to the breath. Inhale, press the hips up high, this time with the option. Taking the hands underneath the body, clasp the fingers together, and let's pull the shoulders underneath. Press through the heels, chin to the chest, ribs come nice and high. Untuck the back of the head. Sounds strange, but untuck the head by bringing the chin to the chest. And slowly release. And finally, we'll take one more bridge, or if we'd like to enter wheel pose or some step along the journey towards wheel pose, let's do that right now. So take the same posture as we just did, or if you'd like to enter wheel pose, let's bring the hand underneath the shoulders. Go as deep as you can, bring the elbows in, come onto your toes, keep the knees stable and pulled in towards one another. This is your first position. You shouldn't be expending any energy here, okay? Press forwards, bring the head onto the ground, the crown of the head. Bring the heels onto the ground, maybe walk the toes forwards to a position that feels comfortable, and then press through the arms. You can always go deeper by walking the legs back. Press through the arms, breathe deep. Grip the ground with your fingers, protecting the wrists. If you're in bridge pose, relax whenever you're ready. If you're in wheel pose, press through the heels and exhale. Release. Squeeze the knees into the chest. Hug the shins with the arms. Come to that nice deep breath. Unblock the nose. And just take a second to calm down. The back bends can really step things up. So breathe slow. Okay, let's bring our knees into the hands. We'll make some nice big circles in one direction. Try and go as far as you can out. And to whatever extent feels comfortable in. But notice the further you go away, you get this nice little release around the tailbone. Make sure to go in both directions, as always. Good. Let's take the soles of the feet together. Allow the knees to just gently, naturally lower down towards the ground. Relaxing the hands at the sides of the body, palms faced up. Raise the upper spine away from the ground just to untuck any of the muscles. And then lay down comfortably. Rest in the top of the head and the back of the head on the ground. And just take a rest. Using this as a short time to meditate, to integrate this practice. This was emotional for me personally, especially with the hips. So if you experience some kind of frustration, emotion, let that integrate right now. If the mind is restless and runs around from thought to thought, just observe the thoughts instead of trying to control them. Observe your thoughts instead of trying to control them. Observe your thoughts instead of trying to control them. You can stay here for as long as you like, or start to make some movements in the body, the legs, the hands, the feet. See how that feels. We just press the palms gently over the eyes. And we release. I'll end the class there. And we'll see each other when the time is right. Namaste.